Hi there. We've moved the railway from its construction base in South Manchester and we've brought it up to Leeds to a small front bedroom where we hope it's going to stay. We only had one casualty. That was one of the warning lights on the level crossing we managed to break, which wasn't bad actually, considering we had to manhandle it all over the place, up the stairs and everywhere. So we did okay. So the last few days I've been just making sure everything's working. I've been resetting the points, getting them working okay. I've been getting them working on the ECoS system. So all the icons are in the right direction and everything seems to be pretty good. So just a quick recap. There's the circuit breakers, we've got Cobalt motors, and we've got connections for the DCC, we've got connections for the sniffer, we've got the control boxes for the semaphore signals, we've got more Cobalt motors, servos for the level crossing. I found it easier if I marked it all up, I knew which way it was going. It made it a lot easier just marking it up like that. And then we've got the power supply for the ECoS system, more connectors for the DCC and DC, more Cobalt motors, the HELJAN turntable. Again, the other crossing at the other side of the layout is there. More Cobalt motors, controllers for the semaphore signals, more Cobalt motors, lots of wire, and we've got this down here. We've put in a voltage regulator. This is to reduce the voltage to the repeater signal gauges we've got on the block shelf that were originally from 1930s signal box. And we know that they only run on a very low voltage, so we've reduced the 12 volts down to 1.5 volts, which is great for them, which I'll show you them operating a little bit later. All the wires, lots of wires. My brother-in-law said we would have less wires using or going DCC than we would if we stayed with DC. God knows what it would be like if we'd have done DC only, but there we go. So there's lots there, a lot of work being done, and there it is in situ. Okay, here we go. We've lowered the table down into its usable position. We've got everything, I hope, connected. The mimic board there is showing all the points running through, which I had to set and reset. I had to reset the Cobalt motors to get them all in the right orientation. We've got semaphore signals on the track, crossings, turntable, and more crossings. So, and these are the controls. Just a moment. These are the controls. Now everything is controlled, or can be controlled, through the ECoS, and it can also be controlled through other switches as well. Apart from the turntable, which I'm using the HELJAN control at the moment, we could actually put it on, I think, onto there, but that's something for another day. So at the moment we've got all the points all in the correct orientation, and if we want to move those, we can just do that. That's those points, and back again. I can also control those with this. It's pretty good. So the young man that's going to be using this, he's very keen on this type of switching signal boxes, which is, of course is why we've built it to look a little like the inside of a signal box. Those are the repeater signals that I mentioned, and we can put the voltage through those and we get the on off, we get this, and we get that. That's all working on 1.5 volts through that rectifier. HELJAN turntable control, where is it? There it is. Let's go to track select, track 6, go for 6. There she goes. I have 9 uncouplers across the layout. They're in their blue numbers on the Mimic board. 1 to 9. This is one at the front, wherever I can find it. That's the one that's number 1, which is closest to the operator, so you can see what's going on there. The rest of them are in these shunting yards, as you can see there, and on the top and back rail there. The uncouplers are controlled with these, so this matches the blue on the Mimic board. So you press that one, it's blue on there, that's number 1. On the Mimic board there, number 1 is blue, and number 1 is in the raised position. So we just press out, it goes down, and the light on the Mimic board has gone out. Simple. We've come to the point where we've finished building the actual tracks and the base, all the electronics and all the mechanical stuff that's going to make the layout work. The original concept I had was that I wanted a board that would fold up against the wall with a track on it that the young man could use to run his engines on. What we've ended up with is something very, very sophisticated and very, very well executed, I think. The next stage, of course, is building the scenery and all the other things that go with a model railway. There are things that we don't know we're going to do yet. One of them is, do we weather the tracks? What I don't want to do is to weather the tracks and have them not particularly conductive and cause problems. I don't know whether that happens, but it's a concern. With weathering the tracks, getting the actual track conductive surface clean usually needs abrasive, and I'm very reluctant to put abrasive on the track. The more damage that's done to the track with abrasives means, as far as I'm aware, they get dirtier quicker, and we don't want that to happen. So I really don't know what to do with the weathering of the tracks. What I will continue to do is update videos with our progress of the modelling stage, the buildings we're putting on, the conclusions that come to, and maybe how we do these things. One of the problems I've found over the last 12 months is the quality of the engines that we seem to be getting. The young man in question has bought quite a few new engines, only to find that he opens them up, puts them on the tracks, bits fall off, things get jammed,
connecting rods come off. It's very, very bad considering the price of the engines. This particular engine, when it was unpacked, the front buffer was off, and it was a very expensive engine. This seems to be quite a common thing. Not good. Anyway, as I say, I'll keep updating with the progress as we go, which might take a long time. It might not. It's good, isn't it? It's come a long way since my old 3-rail Holby double O.